Welcome to my TED Talk. My name is Ashley Rodriguez. I am the 8th of my parents' 11 children. Yeah, they have a lot of children. They're crazy. And a lot of people ask me if they're my full-blooded siblings. All of them are my full-blooded siblings. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But it's awesome. I love it. I am the 8th child, once again. So that means I was the 8th child to go to kindergarten. I was the 8th child to graduate elementary school. I was the 8th child to graduate high school. But what sets me apart is I'm the first child to pursue a bachelor's at a 4-year university, which is super awesome for me. I love that. This example that I have been given to set for my younger siblings by going to a 4-year university has been one of the biggest honors I could have asked for. Knowing that my younger siblings look up to me and that I am making my parents proud by attending a 4-year university or just college in general helps me to persevere by keep putting one foot in front of the other whenever times get hard. I plan to graduate Hardin-Simmons in May 2023. Taking this class has helped me realize how important it is to set goals in order to achieve my dreams. While in this class, I have set a few goals, including short and long-term goals. My short-term goal is to learn as much as I can about how to best run a fitness gym while at my internships. Another short-term goal I have set for myself is to obtain the skills, such as money management, time management, and communication needed to be a successful college student, and eventually this will help me to become a better gym owner. Before I graduate, I have set a goal to do multiple internships in different settings and environments to broaden my perspective of being an owner of a fitness gym. My ultimate goal is to own a mega gym in Hawaii by the time I am 29. I chose 29 because 30 I just felt like is too old, and then 29 is like, I'm in my 20s, like, that's a really good goal to have by 29. Like, that's a really big thing to accomplish. So that's why I said 29. Eventually I want to extend my gym into a chain of gyms across the country. This will obviously not be an easy task, and I get that, I know that. So sometimes I don't feel very motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. So when I get hit with something like a trial or something that's hard to conquer, I remember what my dad said. He is really big in motivation. He's a huge motivator. I love my dad to death. He's my biggest motivator. And what he says, I will never be disappointed if you set your goals too high and miss, but I will be disappointed if you set your goals too low and hit. So this really hits home, and I think of that every time that times get hard, and it really motivates me to set my goals higher and higher. I feel that my purpose is to help people become the best version of themselves. I have a passion for working out and helping people to be and stay motivated. These passions will help point me to my purpose, because as I motivate others to work out, this will help lead others to become the best version of themselves. So as an 18-year-old in college, you can imagine there are many times when I stumble. My plan for when I stumble is to get back up and try again, obviously. So something I really like that we learned in the FYSM was when you fall down 7 times, you must rise 8, which is very true if you want to achieve what you want to achieve. When I fail, my plan is to strive to learn from my mistakes. I'm so sorry, my friend just got to my work and she's waiting for me. For my mistakes, but anyways, I will strive to learn from my mistakes and make a better decision the next time. There was a time when I stumbled in one of my classes this semester. It was in Dr. Moore's Foundation of Physical Education class. We went over an entire exam in one day. I was very overwhelmed, and I'm not sure why I thought this that, I'm not sure why I thought this, but I thought that since we went over the entire exam in one day, that he was going to be like, psych, you don't really have an exam. That's a joke. But he obviously did not say that. And we had the exam. And I did not do too hot on it. I made a 51. So that is the lowest test grade I have ever gotten, a 51. That's alright. That's alright. But this was a big failure. This was a big failure for me because I never scored so low. So instead of getting angry at the instructor saying like, why didn't we spend more time over this? Or why did you give us all of this information in one day? I chose to just accept it, take it, because I obviously couldn't change it. And I chose to actually study the next test. So that was definitely something I learned from that. One, that my professors are not joking whenever they say that you're going to have an exam. And two, that I need to apply myself whenever I'm studying and not study for 1 hour over the span of a week. So that is what I learned, and that is my plan to be more to rise again after I fail. That is my plan. I believe grit is when someone has a goal in mind, and despite however many times they get knocked down, they reuse resilience to get up and try again. They have until they achieve their goal. So they use resilience until they achieve their goal. They don't just get knocked down and then like stay down. They get up and try again. I have shown this resilience in the past semester in cheer. I have been in a long recovery process from ACL surgery, and it has been really difficult for me to adapt from gymnastics to cheer, just because it does have some similarities, but I think it's such a different world. Like, it's so much different, so much differences, like small differences that make a big deal. That's a big deal, if that makes sense. So before I give the example, you should know that I'm pretty hard on myself in sports. I like to do things right, but everyone likes to do things right, but I'm not very patient with myself. So, and I also tend to overthink things a lot. So that's something I've been trying to work on. So about 2 weeks ago, I was trying a new skill in practice, and I was having trouble hitting it consistently. So it's called a toss to hand, and the guy throws me up and catches my feet, and then I'm in the air. And so we weren't hitting it, and it usually takes about a few months for somebody to hit, actually, and that was my first day trying it. And so I began to get into my head and like talking myself down, negative talk. And then my coach walks over to me and he just says, like, get out of your head. That's the best way to not achieve something, is to overthink it. And so I was like, yeah, like, I need to stop overthinking this. This is not an easy skill. So every time I would go, I would fail. That was fine. But I made sure that I stayed positive. I would say, like, okay, you didn't make it that time, but we're going to get it next time. And so eventually, by the end of practice, I did actually get it pretty solid, which is awesome. I've learned a lot about myself in the past few months. A few things that I know, I'm a very introverted person. I used to think I was extroverted, but I think that I just wanted to be extroverted, so I told myself I was extroverted, but I'm not. I'm very, very introverted. I found myself sitting and thinking about life a lot, like constantly. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, I just like to think about the future a lot. And like things I can do to better prepare for the future. And I find it really peaceful actually to do that. I also know that I am human and I am not perfect, which was really hard for me to accept because I used to be really hard on myself. And like every time I would make a mistake, I would be like, oh my gosh, like, why'd you do that? And so I've just really learned to be more forgiving towards myself and love myself more. I'm still a little unsure about who like the person I want to be in the future, like my ideal person. I'm not quite sure who that is yet. Like, I don't know the characteristics that I should obtain and the characteristics that I should lose. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But I know that as I learn and grow from my weaknesses and from my mistakes and my failures, that I will learn who that person is, who that person needs to be. And that is the conclusion of my TED Talk. Thank you for coming.